Hello. So I wanted to talk about something that's been coming through a lot for me um, for the last few months, actually, but it's starting to feel clearer. And I'm really seeing how this has played out for myself in the past, and how I see it playing out um, in the feminine collectively. Um, Especially in terms of how it's synced up with the Venus in Scorpio retrograde. I feel that the dark feminine is really being revealed at the moment. And a lot of these very shadowy, toxic coping mechanisms are really coming to the surface. And they're coming to the surface so we can let go of them, so we can shine a light on them and release them. But we can't do that unless we're really honest with ourselves about how we're doing this. So what I wanted to talk about was sucking the seed of the masculine and how the feminine does this. And it's a very dark feminine aspect. It's the enchantress, the seductress, the succubus. And the reason that I can see this clearly is because I really resonate with it. I've behaved in that way a lot in the past, in the not so recent past actually, and it's only been within the last few months that I've started to see it for what it is. And I feel that the reason for that is because I source my own validation. I source my own sexual pleasure. I nourish myself, so I don't need to suck the seed of the masculine in order to feel validated and fulfilled. In the past, I wasn't really interested in love. I was more interested in feeding off the masculine because it was a way for me to feel fulfilled and nourished without actually sourcing it myself. I wasn't really too concerned with what the needs might be of that man that I was connecting with or the place that he was in. I was just concerned with what I could get from him. I wasn't really bothered about a mutual exchange of energy, which is why I didn't really care that he wasn't showing up in other ways, because I was focusing on the physical attention that I could get from him. So when we're sucking the seed of the masculine, we're not actually bothered or concerned about a mutual exchange of energy. We're not thinking about the emotional well-being and needs of the person that we're connecting with, because we're wrapped up in what we can get from him. How much can I tie him down? How much can he commit to me? How much attention can I get from him? How much affection can I get from him? And this isn't about love. It's about validation and self-empowerment, which is what we need to be sourcing ourselves. And it's completely disempowering to cling on to another person as a way for you to feel alive, as a way for you to feel nourished and fulfilled. And this is where I think it's really important to draw the distinction between receiving and taking. When you receive something, you're receiving something because it's been willfully given to you. They want to share that with you, and they have it to give. And you receive it from a place of receptivity and vulnerability. When we're taking what's actually not being offered to us, what's not actually on the table. We're demanding something because we need it. And it's narcissistic and it's toxic. And this is that very succubus energy of, I need this from you for my own benefit, for my own life force and my own nourishment. We're not actually even noticing whether that person has it to give or even willfully wants to give it to us. And this is why we end up in connections with men who are emotionally unavailable. Because we're coming from this place of lack. And if you're coming from a place of lack, then you're going to be met back with lack. You're only going to be an energetic match to a void, to emptiness, to lack. And when you're sourcing your own validation and pleasure and approval, then everything is reflected back to you from that place. Meaning you're going to attract connections and people in your life which are an energetic match to your self-love and your fulfillment. So if you are noticing that there's connections in your life, or there has been in the past with men who haven't been showing up or meeting you halfway, then be really honest with yourself. Was you actually wanting to receive from him, or was you trying to take from him? And we end up taking when we feed into a connection and when we give energy to something that's not actually available. And we always know if something's available or not because we can feel it. You can feel if someone wants to give something to you. You can feel if they're open. You can feel if they're giving. And you know when they're not, because then you feel like you have to overgive, or you have to force it, or you have to throw your emotions, or you have to demand it. Because we're dependent on having their attention or their affection or their love or their approval, even though the signs are telling us that he has nothing to give right now. Because if he did, he would be giving it to you. So it's your job to recognize that and know that if you're fighting and demanding for someone's attention and approval and affection, then where are you not giving that to yourself? Rather than throwing your emotions at the guy for not giving you what you want and then calling him a fuckboy. He didn't have what you wanted from him in the first place. And you knew that. We always know, we always feel it, but we don't want to accept it because we're fixated on being validated. We think that we can emotionally blackmail and demand and sulk to get what we want from someone, rather than just being really honest and seeing where this energetic dynamic has come from. As I said, if you're being met back with lack, where are you lacking in yourself? If someone's not showing up for you, then where are you not showing up for yourself? And if you often find yourself battling with men who don't meet you halfway or give you the attention and affection you'd like, then ask yourself, am I wanting to receive or take because I don't have it myself? Because I have a vacancy in myself which I'm not filling, and I'm wanting to take it from someone else. I'm wanting to suck the seed of the masculine in order to feel nourished. As I said, love and affection and sex is something that's willfully given to you. You receive it because the other person is openly offering it to you. Taking is when we play games, manipulate, and emotionally blackmail in order to get the affection and attention we want. And it's a battle that you're never going to win, because you can't receive something and be coming from a place of lack. And if you're taking, then you're coming from a place of lack. If you're fulfilled and nourishing yourself, if you're pleasuring yourself sexually, then you don't need to suck or take or cling onto anyone else in order to feel alive. If what I'm saying is landing with you, and this is something that you've experienced before or you're currently experiencing, then Love Like a Queen will change your life. It's a 4-week online group course for women who want to learn how to love deeply and stay in their power. And a big part of this course is setting the example of how you want to be loved by giving yourself that love first, by embodying self-love as the example for how other people are going to enter your life, as the example for how other people show up for you. And we're also going to be exploring the masculine and feminine archetypes and how they operate in a relationship. Because we all have these elements within us. And when they're in the shadows, then we don't really have the awareness or autonomy to really understand ourselves, to have the self-awareness, to know where we're coming from fear and where we're coming from love, where we're receiving and where we're taking. I have a couple of spaces left for Love Like a Queen. It starts on the 31st of October. So if you're feeling this, reach out to me and I will send you the information. I'd love to have you if you're feeling that this is really for you. Thank you for listening. I send love to everyone watching today. I'm feeling really tender and feeling that so much is being illuminated at the moment. And it's really liberating, but it's also really stingy. But it's good. It's good. Lots of love. Wow.